Hello everyone, I am back, I'm alive, I'm okay. The reason why I haven't uploaded, yes, I know excuses, but if anyone's been in Aberystwyth, you know what the weather's been like. It's been awful, really awful. All the videos I had planned to do before I leave Aberystwyth all seem to be outside, so literally haven't been able to do them. Which leads me on to today's video. If people don't know me, then the last 3 years I have been doing a film and TV degree here at Aberystwyth University. So it sparked an idea for me to do a video about this. Film is so stereotyped to the point where it puts people off going to film school just because people think it's easy. People don't regard it as a good subject because it's an art subject, and those people are stupid. So today I have my notebook here and I have wrote down everything that I can think of to why you should go and why you shouldn't listen to other people, and a bit of my experience, why I went, what I got out of it. So let's get straight into it. So first things first, I didn't actually want to go to university. I was not academic in the slightest, or not that I thought I was, and I was just hands-on, wanted to do camera work, editing, that was it. And so I didn't think university was going to be for me. I thought I'd always have my head in a book, writing essays, which is kind of true, but in a good way. But yeah, what I originally wanted to do was an apprenticeship, but the waiting list was 2 years, and in those 2 years I had to do a portfolio, which, think about it right now, I didn't have a car, I didn't have the money to get equipment, I didn't have anyone to work with, and I didn't have actors, so tell me how that would have worked. So I caved in and wanted to do an all production course. I did a tour around the BBC in London and told the guy what I wanted to do, things like that. And he was like, yeah, that's great, but sometimes you need to know where it's come from to know where it's going, and it actually helps inspire your work a lot more than you think. So that changed my mind, and I found this course, Film and TV Studies, here at Aberystwyth Uni, and people kind of mislead it as, oh, it's just an academic subject. It's not. It's much more beneficial, because what people don't understand about university sometimes, which a lot of parents didn't quite understand, is that you can take your credits and weight it more towards theory or more towards practical. Yes, you still have to do a bit of theory, but the theory that I did has helped me so much more. I'm so glad that I went for that course. So yeah, to start with, familiar questions would be like, will you get a guaranteed job at the end of it? Will you make money from it? Those kind of questions, and I'm like, take a step back. Yes, it does matter how much you earn, but realistically it's more your passion and what you want to do. So I'd say if you have any passion towards film and you'd love to study it, you'd love to get into it, I'd say ignore people that are like, oh, that degree is easy. Because it's not. I'd say go with your gut, because at the end of the day, you've got to be happy with the subject you're studying. For example, I wanted to do, well, I say wanted, but I was going to do English language at another university, which is very academic and very scientific, and deep down I just knew it wasn't me, and what I wanted to do was film. But then everyone would put you down about it and they'd be like, all you do is watch films, all you do is sit back, have some snacks, watch a film, write about it. It's not true. You're constantly analysing films, you're constantly making films, and you're learning about the subject historically as well. And all that tied in together makes you much more of a better filmmaker than you think. Through going through university, it's not just about what you study though, like you can get a lot more out of it. For example, I'm sure you all know about the Tribeca experience and all of that, but if you don't, I'll link it in the end card. But yeah, I had the opportunity to go to New York, made loads of contacts in there, and I never thought I'd be going to New York for another 10 years, even for a holiday, let alone a film festival. So yeah, because I went to uni, I got that out of it. I've also got loads of contacts from the lecturers, and that's just because they're just more like a big family than, okay, you're gonna sit in a lecture hall now and learn about this. But not only that, there's loads of workshops, and because I did workshops that were like after uni or during breaks and things like that, I had the opportunity to use the Red camera, which is a cinema camera, and they had all the cinematic lenses and they were beautiful. But yeah, I never thought I'd have my hands on a Red camera for a good 10 years because I wouldn't make it in the industry. But no, because of that, I've now got that to write on my CV that I have used one and I know a bit about it. And not only that, but it pushes you to get work experience. And yes, they push you to get the work experience yourself, but there's the safety net of just in case you can't get it and people have contacts, so then, you know, there's a support system. But luckily I pushed myself to go and get it myself and had a really good placement with some really good people, and I got a lot out of that placement. Another massive factor for university is that you don't have to pay for the equipment. Yes, you've got tuition fees, which some may argue, yeah, you're paying for it, but no. Literally, you can book out any equipment. My university have just ordered C100s in. I hadn't had to pay a penny extra for it. And thinking about it, I couldn't have had that opportunity if I tried to fund it myself. No way. You always get parents that are just like, oh, do I have to buy my kid a laptop? And I'm just like, no, because you've got it all here. And yes, I bought this camera, but that was just a personal option. Like, I didn't have to because they have plenty there that were good enough. But I just wanted my own. So it's all down to personal preference as well. So I'd say like one of the main things that it's taught me, and the most important thing I think it's taught me, is self-motivation and not to be a perfectionist about things. And what I mean about the perfectionist side is that in college I did film studies and I had to do a whole film by myself, literally camera, lighting, editing, sound, everything apart from the acting. But I was just used to doing projects by myself, so I'm used to doing every role and I've got to get every role right and things like that. But coming to uni, because I worked with loads of different people, that meant that I learned that you had to delegate roles. You had to be reliant on other people to do their job for the whole film to work. And the other part of being a perfectionist is that I went into it thinking I'd just produce like a Hollywood film first try. No, don't think that at all. They always say practice makes perfect, and yes, it's very true, because in the first year we had a module where each week you'd rotate roles, but on the Monday you'd have a brief. In the middle of the week you shot the film and you had to edit it. By Friday then you'd have to screen it to everyone, and that was so stressful. But it was a good exercise to get like the creative ball rolling, and you get to try every role in the industry pretty much. And I think that's so important because it made me understand that, say you had a script writer and all they wanted to do is script write and they don't want to mess with the camera and they don't want to do anything technological. Well, it's really important that they do use a camera, or like at least experiment with it, because they need to understand how their story is going to be told in this medium, and that makes a film a lot different and that makes them a better script writer. So they all kind of like bounce off each other, and that exercise and basically university overall has definitely taught me that. And for me personally, it was a massive learning curve, and I definitely say that it's important not to go into it and think, right, I just want to be a director. Like, I went into it and thinking all I wanted to do was editing. That was it. And by doing a film and TV course, I'm not saying you have to, like you can just do film, but it's opened my mind up to a lot more options. For example, I know someone that's a cinematographer on Peaky Blinders, and if you think about it, Peaky Blinders is a TV series, but because of like streaming services now, like Netflix and that, all these like film roles are crossing over into TV now, which means there's more jobs available. It's like crossing over mediums. So that's opened my mind up to that, whereas before I was just like, film, that's it. Don't want to do anything else, don't want to do TV. But yeah, the course has also enabled me to work in a TV studio, live TV. That is so stressful. It opened my mind up to that and all the roles in there, and I'm quite interested in working in the gallery. I've been able to get that experience as well. So thinking about it, if I trace it all back, if I hadn't have gone to university, I wouldn't have got a lot of experiences that I did. And I'm so grateful for that. And coming back to the whole point of going with your gut, study what you want. Don't listen to what people think you should do because it's more employable. Yes, that is a way of thinking, but it's not a very healthy way of thinking if it's not going to make you happy. I think if I did English language for 3 years, I would have instantly regretted it. But yeah, I can definitely say that I'm so happy that I chose it and didn't do other things that people wanted me to do. I did it because I wanted to. And my last point that I think I want to make is the saying that I've literally stood by for the whole of university, and that is, you only get out what you put in. And I think that summarises university pretty much. Because yes, you can be a student that literally barely passes with 40 marks and just sit there and not go to lectures sometimes, but sit there and watch a film. But what are you gonna get out of it? Nothing. So you only get out what you put in, which is literally just saying, like, keep your head down. You take every opportunity that comes to you and then you'll get more out of it. Because everybody's university experience varies so much. Like, my experience can't account for everyone's experience. experience. I'm happy with what I got out of it because I put the effort in. That's how I see it working, and that's how I think it kept me going, because people will like stop you. There'll be like a speed bump in the road sometimes, and you just got to keep your head down, keep going. Right, this is what I want to get out of it, not what they should get out of it. It's definitely taught me to do more things for myself, to put it that way. But it's not just like studying extra courses you can take on top of university, but it's also just like living away from home and things like that. Sounds so simple, but it's so beneficial, because if you think about the film career, you could be here, there, or anywhere. So it's definitely taught me to be independent, and I love it. I love living away from home, which doesn't mean I don't like home, but it's just like another freedom, and I think that's what you need for this industry. So it's taught you more life skills as well. So I think that concludes everything I wanted to say, or pretty much most things. I didn't want to go into much depth and detail, but if you do have any questions, just DM me on Instagram or Twitter. Yeah, I know it's a tough time deciding if you want to go to university or not straight out of college. It is a big decision, but I always think just choose what you want to choose. If you want to do film. I'm glad I did. I don't regret it. I think I got more out of it because I actually enjoyed it. Like, yes, it was tough at times, but what subject isn't tough? I don't think there is one. Yes, people would say film, but that's just the stereotype, and it's not easy at all. So yeah, drop me a question below, send me a message, make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you liked it, you found it helpful or anything like that. Subscribe if you're new. I hope the weather picks up so I can actually film a good video for you. So I'll see you lot very, very soon. Bye!